my gosh, thank you, thank you. This is very cool. Like the secret room.
So that's why this walk-up stuff is really good because, you know, we get to talk
Yep,
but
like it.
I see you all the time, so that's even better.
Yep,
Yeah.
easy.
Yep. So, chocolate, my favorite thing, dark chocolate. And it's funny because I love chocolate, and so much people go, Ian, you're such a chocolate snob. And you know how people bring back omiyages from traveling, and it's milk chocolate. At first, I used to be really cool about it. Yeah, thank you, and like gracious. And after a while, like the people who know me, they're gonna keep bringing me milk chocolate and junk chocolate or whatever, right? So I started being like, sorry, I don't eat. I only do dark chocolate, and got to be really good quality. So then people started bringing me chocolate from all over, dark chocolate. And then I think Minette, she brought me your chocolate.
Oh, she's the one.
And I'm going, wait a minute, where's this chocolate place? And she goes, right where you live. And I was like, wait, I saw that, but I didn't think it was a for real chocolate shop.
Right. Looks like a house, yeah.
Yeah, because
Walk
it's a
back.
house, right? And it's a Chocolatier. And I'm going, chocolate? It's not like, it doesn't say chocolate.
Right.
Right? So, and then I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my God, this is it.
I know, I'm so glad because that's the same thing. I'll be like, that's Egan and Erin. Is that Egan and Erin? Wait a minute.
That's funny, right? How we met.
Yeah. That's why I was like, okay, where he works out and what he does, I can do. Because if that, you can't tell me I cannot have my chocolate.
That's
Right? That's why I went to the gym, was because it was just to congratulate you when you opened your gym.
Yeah.
Around Punoho.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, I just wanted to drop this off, say congratulations on the new space. And then the next thing I know, I'm walking around with Mel and I'm like, sign me up.
I know, that was so good, right?
Yeah.
I know.
I love it.
I'm glad you came. I mean, it's been a good thing for, you know, chocolate. And I always tell people, like, wherever I go, in your shop, one of the days I was there, someone goes, do you eat chocolate? I'm like, frick, yeah. I said, but that's why I work out, so I can do this.
Yeah.
And he was kind of puzzled. And I think I had a lady said the same thing when I walked in. It's funny how people, they see me places and they'll say stuff like that. I'm like, yeah,
I know.
work out in my place. You can.
Yeah. Can you eat more chocolate?
Yeah.
Except though, you also told me, come on, Erin. You gotta lift chocolate, right? Isn't that heavier than what you lifted?
Yep.
But I like that push.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's so fun. I gotta say, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love it. So.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. So
great people.
With your fitness journey, right? I mean, it was uncomfortable for you to probably start, right? And I mean,
fitness journey?
Yeah. So like to come into my gym to work out.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Yeah. Well,
why were you so nervous?
Well, I mean, I've heard of it
Yeah.
for like the longest time, but I'm like, I'm not one of those people. Like I was like, I'm not strong, you know, like I don't love working out, right? My type of workout is dancing. And so I'm not like a gym person, right? Or that's kind of my mentality.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of funny because when we went, I was like, the workouts are always different. There's people yelling at you, but it's like positive reinforcement. And then there's fun music and the speaker lights are going, right? And then it's like, you got to change. And then it's like the obstacles with the ladders. And then I was just like, oh, this is more, that's what I like. Cause then it feels more like, it's like so dynamic, but then it's also like, kind of like a game and a dance, right?
Yeah.
Like there's timing, there's strategy, there's move. And so then I was like, oh, this I like, you know?
Good.
And then I'm like dripping in 30 minutes, which is like, we don't have time, right?
Yeah.
But you can do 30 minutes. And then I'm like, oh, I don't even sweat when I work out. But when I go there, I'm like, oh, I'm like dripping. I'm like, how am I tell Coach Vic every week, I'm like, how am I supposed to go to work? My lashes all fell off and my makeup all came off already before I even go into work. Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. I like to ask that because so much people, they'll come in and you can tell they're super nervous, right? And then a lot of them is like, well, because, you know, it's Egan's fitness and people associate my fitness with like super gnarly and hardcore. And
it is hardcore.
Then some people think that I'm super hardcore. And like when they meet me, they're like, oh, he's not like that gnarly guy that I thought he was. You know, so like I try to ask, like I like to ask people like what made you so nervous to come in? He's like, oh, I should have came last year when my friend came. You know, like so it's like that's pretty good. Well,
it's nervous because you feel like, oh, I'm not like them, or I'm right, but then you see like everybody there's like, yeah, come on, let's
Yeah.
go, let's modify, let's do this, but I'm gonna push you. And so I don't know, it's really fun. Coaches are great,
Good.
people are great.
I'm good. And they all love dark chocolate and they love your chocolate.
I know, I never
Right.
talk about it until they say, how'd you get here? I'm like, Egan. Literally.
Yeah, for real. Right? So like yesterday, you did like what do you call what you did with the boot camp members?
Oh, we did like a tour and taste. So they came in and then I gave them like a tour of the shop, our kitchen, because we make everything right there. And then we showed them the process. Then we have I call it the chocolate house. So it's upstairs from the shop. And then it's designed like a house. And so it's like you're coming into the space and we do more like education and bonding up there. So we teach you about whether it's like the R&D process for us or teamwork or innovation or entrepreneurship, but we do all of that with chocolate upstairs.
Wow.
So you can kind of get a glimpse into either the business or I do a lot of custom talks depending on the group. And then we incorporate it with chocolate, which makes it more fun. So
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, I just like ADD'd right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Go,
what
go
about
for it.
chocolate and self-defense?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like a women's
I swear
self-defense with
there's
chocolate?
any tie to chocolate, like because a lot of what you guys were talking about, like in your podcast or things I hear, is like about the mentality, right, or the strategy. And so it's so funny because it's like the same thing. Even when we're doing stuff, like it's about strategy, right? Business strategy, or rethinking and switching that mindset of like, okay, that didn't sell, or nobody's coming, or what happened. So it can always overlap with something else.
Yeah.
You know.
So you keep track of like say how many chocolates of this flavor, that flavor and this one took 2 weeks more to sell out or whatever it is, or
Some things we track, some things I still gotta get on, but yeah, it's fun when I get to see those kind of like dynamics, or like, oh, how come it's like there's always a peak here or something here, and then you kind of learn more about people, and what people want or what people are looking for, and that's what it is.
like so certain times of the year. I mean, I know you do like Halloween stuff, you got Christmas stuff, but what time of the year you think you have the most like chocolate sales? Like
Christmas.
Christmas for sure.
Christmas is like November, December, so it's like a 2 month thing, and then we ramp up from so it's May, but we're working on Christmas right now. So we're doing ideas, packaging, design, flavors, research. And so it starts from now. So it feels like half the year is Christmas for us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that big.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting because like for fitness,
Yeah.
that slows down for us.
Yeah. Everybody's
Right?
going party.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they all come back January.
And they come back
February.
sometimes the ending of January, beginning of February. And then summertime, like now,
Yeah.
graduation time, it starts to get like
busy,
the last couple of days, like this past week, actually, I'd be there early in the morning, and I mean, the classes are crowded, but the weights upstairs, no one's using, right? And then the evenings I come in, I'm like, man, no one's here. And it's bad because as a business owner, you want it crowded, right?
Right.
But for me, it's like, oh, empty gym. This is the kind of gym I like.
Yeah.
But not good for business, good for eating.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, most people never see me working out in the gym because I'm always working out when no one's there. And it's just always been my thing. I don't know. I just have a hard time with people around. It's like when I'm in the gym, I like to like harass everyone and try to get them to push more.
You're not working out. You're teaching everybody.
So it's like so my mind is different. So, and I don't know if for you, like when you're in your shop and you see your employees, maybe selling chocolate or maybe trying to upsell, or I don't know if you guys do that, but
I think it's kind of similar to you, where like when I'm at the gym, my mindset is like, I'm phased out. I look like this, like I'm like just like trying to push through something, right? So it's like, but then I'm on a different way when I'm at work. So I guess that's kind of like when you say you go work out at the gym by yourself, you're just like zoned out on your own.
Yeah.
So you cannot have capacity for two things, maybe, like talking to people and then like coaching. Like, you get distracted, right?
Yeah.
That's like when I'm in the store, I'm actually want to talk to everybody that walks in, which is why my team usually kicks me out. I'm upstairs because otherwise I don't get other work done.
Oh.
So it's either I'll talk to people all day or I'll be like, I got to work on strategy or other things. And so I got to go back upstairs.
That's so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I can hang around all day at the gym and talk to everyone who's in there and like harass everyone and whatnot, but like I make sure like
but you got to work on yourself
again. Yeah. Because like I got projects that I'm trying to get done, and of course my own training, which doesn't take that long, but still it's like I'll postpone it or sauna cold plunge. I'm like half an hour late because I was chatting with someone
Yeah,
about
yeah,
something,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So I mean, I can imagine that in your store would be the same thing.
yeah. It's hard because you see your friends come in, you see people like you want to hang out, you want to
Yep.
talk story, right? So you kind of have to figure out that back and forth of doing the business, the work behind the scenes, and then getting to enjoy
Yeah.
seeing the fruits of your labor, right?
Yeah, totally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always thought chocolate in Manoa was always good. They used to have this one chocolate, I think they called it Diamond Head chocolate a long
Oh,
time
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
It's right next door to Andy's.
Yeah, yeah.
That chocolate place was my favorite before.
Oh, they were over there?
They were over there
Yeah, I grew up
long
eating
time.
their stuff too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, maybe you're too young to know that
No,
chocolate stuff.
yeah.
Because they eventually changed to
Honolulu.
something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they're at Kahala Mall or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
now they're Diamond Head chocolate.
Oh, now it's
Now
Diamond
they're
Head chocolate.
Diamond
Now
Head
it's
chocolate,
Diamond
yeah.
Head chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I just always like your chocolates are small, and a lot of people, oh, but the chocolate is so small. It's actually perfect because if you have to bite a chocolate and it falls apart, like for me, like
Yeah.
little things like that, I notice. Like,
Oh.
yeah. So like when I saw yours, I'm like, oh man, like this is perfect size. But I was still trying to nibble a piece and then nibble a piece. But
I have some for you too.
I love it where I just go bam,
Mm.
and then I just
So
leave
you
it at
don't
one.
bite it and you don't look.
No, I did yesterday though. You're, what was it?
From the
Cotton candy or what
rainbow shave ice.
Rainbow shave
Oh yeah.
ice.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Okay, good. You bit and looked at it.
well, I had no choice. The kids are like, Dad, you gotta look.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yes.
So we looked at
Yeah.
it. I looked at it, took a bite.
We make them layer by layer. So
Yeah.
if you just pop it in your mouth, like, oh, you missed, you missed the steps, because that's how the like chocolatiers can see each other's work, is by looking at the shell of the truffle, the thinness, the consistency. So that's the art form that we look for when we're eating other people's chocolate.
Oh,
But we know that most people just like, oh, I'm good, Erin, I'm good. I was like, okay, that's good. But that's really how you can see the craftsmanship and like everything being made by hand, and the layers of the ganache, or the smoothness of the chocolate, the shine, the temper, all those things are all the craftsmanship.
wow.
Yeah.
Is that what you teach on the tours that you do of your?
A little bit. Depends on the
Ooh.
group. Sometimes they're like, we like eat already.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that kind of stuff for me is super interesting. I mean, everything
Right.
that I like or that I have interest in, it starts to get real technical for
Yeah,
me. Like,
yeah.
otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not worthy. Like, I don't even waste my
I
time.
know. That's why I think I like listening to the topics you talk about, because you're talking about like one, I think it was with Mano, you were talking about like grabbing the good hand or having the
Oh,
grip or something, you know?
Yes.
And I was like, that's interesting, like I wouldn't have thought of like
Yeah.
that kind of, you're just thinking about big stuff,
Mhm.
what the general public is thinking of when you think of fighting or you think of, right?
Yeah.
Grappling. But it was like, oh, the technique, and depending who you fighting and
Yeah.
what kind of preparation you did versus what they did, and I was like, oh, this is good stuff.
Yeah, you
Like
probably
geek out about the same stuff.
yeah, you know what? You probably like, because you're a dance, you do dance and
Yeah.
you choreograph dance stuff, right? And
Yeah.
you taught dance for a long time.
Yeah. Not
So
anymore,
how
but-
far did you get, like personally, like for your dance? Like,
Well, so I grew up dancing just for fun, for exercise. Did it from like 9 to like high school, went to college, and then I decided to focus more on school and keep dance as a hobby, not pursue it professionally. But fortunately, I had some professional gigs here while I was in college doing that, but never, kind of was grained into me early, like you're not gonna make it, like professionally. So I cannot sing, like you have multi-talents, right? I said, I don't even think I have thick enough skin. I don't want to leave Hawaii.
yeah.
So I just kind of kept it as a hobby. But what happened was I was a teacher. So I got my degree in teaching, and I was teaching in an elementary school in Waianae, and they didn't have any dance team. And I was like, how does this school not have a dance team? So I said, well, I want to do a dance team. And so there was another teacher, Mandy Scott, there, and she was like, she has her own like hula studio. And so she was like, yes, let's do this dance team thing, right? I said, I want to hold auditions. I want to get these kids, I want to give them something. And so, oh, thank you. And so when we held these auditions, it was so cool. I had like kids all in the courtyard, right? And it was like, this is before, so you think you can dance and all of that. Yeah. And so it was like, just, getting the kids and like training them, and then doing this at recess or whatever. And she just so happened to own that studio, and she was looking for somebody to do more performing arts like hip hop, jazz, lyrical, and all that. And she was like, "You want to come look at my studio?" And I said, "Oh no, I'm not professional. Like I just did it for fun. I'm not a teacher, I'm not a choreographer." But she was like, "No, just come, just try." I was like, "I really don't know what I'm doing. I just like kids and I like dancing, but I don't really actually know how to teach dance." So, I gave it a try, but it was so funny because I was like, all the kids would come and they're like, look at me, and I was like, "All right, let's put our hands on our hips and let's start shaking it." Because I was like, "Oh my gosh, choreographing is so different from being a student."
Oh yeah.
And so thankfully, she gave me so much flexibility to just kind of come in as a subcontractor and like really just run that side of it, start um, bringing in different age levels, different groups. And so it grew from like 20 kids or 2 classes to over 200 students that we just did hip hop, jazz, lyrical. I started training like intermediate school, high school girls to be like junior leader kind.
Yeah.
And then had to just keep, this is before like even, I remember nobody was using YouTube, but as a teacher, I was thinking, how do you help the students that don't catch on in the 1 hour class, but they have the drive? So I started recording myself from way back then and then posting it on YouTube, right? Telling them there's this video for the parents. So if your kids want to practice at home, the parents cannot help them. They don't know how. And so they would watch those videos on YouTube and, come back next week and they would be more confident because they got extra time, to catch up. So it was really cool. Like that's kind of how I made that transition and ended up finding myself accidentally as an entrepreneur. I didn't know what an entrepreneur was, but I just found out when the guy was like, "You gotta pay taxes on all this money you're making." And I was like, "Oh, so I don't get to keep all of it."
I spent it.
I know. And I was like, "Oh, what is that?" So that's kind of how I ended up. Oh shoot, I need an accountant. Oh my gosh, what does this mean? I'm not keeping track of.
Oh wow, that's prepping you for your store.
Yeah.
So like when you're choreographing dances, you were a dancer before. Now you're teaching kids. So now you got to choreograph the dances. Right. So you see any relationship from that to opening a chocolate company?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm becoming a choreographer.
Like what you learned in choreographing.
Yeah.
From one step to the next.
Yeah.
And then how does that relate, or did it help, or could you find anything that kind of like changes and forms again chocolate? I know there are some things you already kind of mentioned.
That's a good question, because now that you're asking me this, I am thinking like I knew I wasn't the best dancer or the best choreographer. But the only thing I came with was like a real deep passion for the kids and teaching, love for teaching. So my strategy, which I didn't think of as a strategy, I just thought of this is what I know how to do, was I love to teach kids lessons, like life lessons, like how to, whether it's like be kind or go after your dream kind of thinking, or being confident in your skin or whatever that it was, right? So the dances, I would pick the music that aligned with a theme lesson that I wanted to teach. And then I would try and match beats and those kinds of things. But then every dance class, I would tie it into a lesson. So they actually would do worksheets in dance class to relate to the music so that they could become immersed in it. And so they were the best. They wouldn't necessarily be the best technical dancers, but they were the best at the expressions and the passion on stage, because that's what naturally happened when we worked on that. So I think that's what set me apart, because I didn't create the most award-winning competitive dance group, because there was others out there. But what parents eventually told me was, "Oh, we come to you because you're teaching our kids more than dance." And they're not focused on trying to get their kids to be a professional dancer, but they wanted them to learn things, have fun, build confidence. And so I said, "Oh, okay, so good. I found like my niche." So in that sense, I think when I went to the chocolate side, it's like, oh, what can I offer? What's my niche, as opposed to trying to be like Hershey's.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. So that's the first time someone's asked me that, but I think I can look back now and see that that's one of those things that was what I was doing, but I wasn't calling it as a shot. It's more like, oh, I was just trying to figure out, what can I do? Because I can't do it all.
The reason I asked that too is because in my thing, my daughter choreographs. So like at Ilani, they make the kids choreograph that, and like I watch her work on it, and then she finally, the teacher will pick which ones
Yeah.
that they're gonna do for the showcase or whatever it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so this year hers was picked. And no, actually last 2 years hers was picked, but I see the kind of work and I'm watching her and I don't really question her because she doesn't want to be bothered because she's in the zone.
Yeah.
And I notice like she'll go here, oh, stuck. So she'll do something else
Yeah.
to make it smooth.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like almost like pivoting when something's not good and like
Right.
just maneuvering yourself and being able to be nimble and turning
Yeah.
and changing. And I feel like that has a lot to do with business because
Ah.
you figured your niche
Yeah.
or your whatever you're good at in dance.
Right.
And then like when I go to your chocolate shop, I don't walk in there and go, oh, so much stuff. I don't even know what to get. You definitely have like these.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about dance or when I knew that you dance and now you say you choreographed, I was like, you gotta have used what you learned there for your business.
Yeah. No, but what you said makes even more sense because when you break it down choreography to like the technical side, it's kind of like if you go this way,
Yeah.
what's the next? I mean, if you just piecemeal anything, it just looks like, people are like, what is that?
Exactly.
They don't call it a dance anymore,
Yep.
right? But it has like a rhythm and a flow to it. So then
Yep.
you kind of move from like, I'm here now on the floor. How am I going to get up?
Yep.
Or I'm facing the back and how am I going to turn back around?
Yep.
And so in that sense, that's like art, like how are you going to move from here to there, but make it seamless and make it still entertaining or enjoyable so it doesn't cause stress on the person watching you. Right? But they're more want to watch you as opposed to, somebody help that person, like, yeah.
I know. And when I watch that too, some of the maneuver, well, usually when I watch dance, it's like more like, ooh, that's a tough move. Like, and I know like most people that maybe never did too much physical activity or did dance, they have no idea. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like, like, and in their head, they're like, oh, I might try to add that into what I can do, right? Whereas I'm like, whew. Then again, I can't dance, so.
But it's athletic, right?
It's super athletic.
It's like how we were talking about rolling or like jujitsu too, right? You're just like when they're in this position, what is your next position? And now they're in this position, so now what's your position? So it's like it's that and it's fast too, right?
And that's like the MMA class that I teach. That's what I do. I you punch with this side, and your weight's here. Your next punch is
right.
You're loading. So like for my fighting style, that's exactly how I did it. Right, almost like a dance. Like, my weight's here. Now I got to get my weight that way because I got a lot of power.
Yeah,
right.
And
so
that makes sense because it's strategy as opposed to just
force,
and then you die. You're out of breath
Exactly.
already, and it's like, how are you gonna like use what you have in the position you're in?
Yeah.
So
a lot of that kind of stuff. Like I know fighting, dance. A lot of people think like, oh, it's a whole different thing, right? And then what I do is fighting what you do in dance, and then you're running your business, I'm running my business.
Yeah.
There's so many things because in dance and fighting, you run into roadblocks like, and like what you said, like for me, I knew what I was good at. So I wouldn't my whole game was to just stay there and not let someone take me out of that game.
Yeah.
And no matter how good you are at something, I'm going to keep you playing my game because I know my game better than you know my game.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I think for a business, it's kind of the same thing.
Right.
But like for me, boot camp, it was real tough because my name alone, so I was trying to get my name out of the freaking thing because so much people are like, oh.
I see. It could be a hindrance as opposed to
right? It really is for us.
Interesting.
So we have to Marcia, them are constantly figuring out marketing. Sometimes it's great to use my name, but then other times it's not.
Right.
Because a lot of people is like, oh, Egan, go.
Well, that's why when you do stuff like this and people see the human side of you, it really helps, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't need to be there. I don't need to be the face. I don't need to be the star. Just Chocolatier, But then a lot of people, like our customers, are like, no, but Erin, we want to see you.
Yeah.
We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know. And I was like, oh, but that's worse, right? No, don't you just want the chocolate? But it's, because we're connected somehow, right?
Yeah.
We're just built that way for the connection. So I think it's only a hindrance if it's like it doesn't align with what their values are, or what they're thinking or whatever. But if you just show that, then it's like, then it makes it so approachable, right? Like if he can come in my store and eat chocolate, I can work out with him. You know, I want to work out
Yeah.
with him, right? I want that push. But otherwise, I'll be like, there's Egan.
I know so much people like that. I'm like, going, what the heck? I don't bite nobody. I don't fight no one on the street. I don't freaking attack no one. Why is people like, that's Egan, that's Egan? Like,
Well, it's like they're like, oh, did you bring chocolates? I'm like, I don't have a chocolates in my purse all the time. Okay. Nick, not just saying.
yeah. Oh, that's too funny. So, like for you, like to me, like a lot of businesses, especially small businesses,
Yeah.
Like ours, it's like everyone likes a good story.
Yeah.
So a lot of times behind a good business, there's really a good story. And I know you have a really good story, like how you started it, the risks that you took,
Yeah.
the chances but I want to make sure that you cover like, there's gotta be people or thoughts in your head, like, I'm gonna do this. Oh my gosh, it's gonna cost 30,000 or 40,000.
Right.
Oh, that's all I have in my savings. It's gonna be zero. Like,
Yeah.
and then there's always people that, you crazy, just
Yeah.
keep that money, do something else, keep teaching dance or go back to school teaching or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, tell me a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of hit it right on the nose because I was like, teaching dance at that point was like, I was doing it for 7 years and it's like building anything, right? So at that point now I was getting the respect of parents. I had a wait list.
Yeah.
I had it was like, if people wanted services outside, it was like at least 200 an hour for me to teach class or teach something. And then kind of going into the chocolate side was going to make $0 an hour, right?
Yeah.
With nobody and no promise and no, after not even being done with this yet, feeling like, oh, I just got this good,
Yeah.
I'm happy, I'm excited. So I loved what I was doing. I wasn't thinking of doing anything else. I did go get my MBA from Shiler, like you, Mano, but yeah, but I did it because it was free. Like I was like, I was at working in the college, it kind of in between when I was trying to figure out my life. I didn't know what I was going to do after I quit teaching. So it was 2008 and I couldn't get a job with my education degree. So I was like applying Starbucks. I was applying all kind of event coordinators, bartending, whatever, like trying to find different stuff. And I ended up at the college doing like admin work. And I'd finish my work and I'd tell my boss, oh, what can I do now? Oh, can we start a program? Can I create stuff for it? And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm bored. I'm done with all my work, And he was like, you need to go back to school. You need to get a business degree. You need to go entrepreneurship or something, like he just had kind of saw like there was something else I was looking for. So I got my MBA, just thinking, oh, maybe I'll take this dance thing to the next level, make it like I don't know what, but like it was successful. And then during that time, I was also getting ready to get married. So I was wanted to go to the wedding expo, get ideas, and my husband didn't want to go yet.
Let's go. He don't want to go.
So I took my mom, and so we're walking around, and my friend was there, and she knows like I spent all my money on good dark chocolate.
You spent
Like
all your money.
I'm one of those people that was like,
Yeah.
oh, from a kid time, it's like, oh, I want the good chocolate.
Also, from kid time, you always wanted so you didn't eat any chocolate. You just wanted really good chocolate.
I really liked quality.
Oh, for me.
Quality sweets, quality chocolate, quality pastries. Yeah, I think it's in my blood. So I was just like, that's why I use that chocolate company.
It is in your blood.
It is in my blood. Still in my blood.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one of my friends was like, oh, Erin, there's this guy giving out samples of like these really good chocolates. And I was like, oh, screw the wedding plans. Let's go find the chocolate guy. So I went looking for the chocolate guy, and he was giving out samples, but they were those truffles that were like shaped like jewels on a silver platter. And I was just like, this is the most beautiful chocolates I've ever seen, and then I'm eating them and like, this is the best chocolate I've ever had. And so then I just keep talking to them so I can hopefully get more, and so this guy just so happened he had a bio kind of like in his booth, and my mom was with me. So she's reading while I'm just jabbering with him. And she's like, oh my gosh, Collins Kawhi. And she's like, makes this connection. She goes, are you related to, you guys from Maui? You did it. And then next thing you know, they're cousins.
Oh no.
And so his dad
Blood.
and her mom, my grandma, like they grew up playing together on the streets, like super tight family on Maui. And then they got separated one generation later on Oahu and Maui. And so this was like literally a reunion of family over chocolates. And I was like, this is so cool. I have an uncle that makes chocolate, you know? And so I was just like, this is great. Like just thinking like, that's a pretty cool story.
Yeah,
And I
it's a
was,
great story.
that's it. I just thought, oh, end of story. Really cool. And he was like, oh, do you want to learn how to make chocolate? And I was like, oh, not really. I just really like to eat them, you know? And because I was doing my dance, I was
Yeah.
pretty happy. And I said, well, why do you want to teach me? And he said that him and his wife had been figuring out how to make chocolates for like 12 years. And they taught themselves, but they had no kids. So they had nobody to pass this knowledge on to for the next generation. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. You know, my husband's like, yeah, you know, he wants to teach you something. And I said, well, I just want to hang out, you know? So that's what we did. We just started hanging out with them every weekend. They would teach us how to make chocolates, and I was there to just kind of like talk story during the time and then eat it after and
Take some of it home.
take some of it home. But that's pretty much all we did for like a while, just not thinking anything of it, you know, but that's the starting point of it. Yeah.
Wow, that's a good story. And then so now you decide you're gonna open up a shop, right? And then you started with like just subleasing.
Yeah.
So from
Yeah.
subleasing to actually having your own place
Yeah.
and having to put money down to modify the place or to have your own kitchen
Oh my gosh.
and how hard was it to find the kitchen before you decided I'm just gonna make one?
Oh man, so I know nothing about this industry, right? I didn't know I was in manufacturing. I didn't know I was gonna be in retail. You know, like I was just making chocolate, right? And now I'm opening up to this world of entrepreneurship. Before there was a buzz and classes and how to start your business, or the internet kind of like blowing up with that kind of
Yeah.
videos and stuff. So it was like, okay, in order to make food stuff and sell it, you need something called a commercial kitchen. So thankfully there was Google. So I was like, what's a commercial kitchen? And that's kind of the basic of like, oh, it's a hand washing sink, a trip. Okay. It's like, okay. So basically I can build a kitchen. Okay. It's like, so I would just start going around looking for places that had lease signs and then inquiring, calling, visiting. And everything is so expensive, so expensive. And, I didn't have any like capital money or anything, right? Going into this, it was kind of just like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. What's in my budget? And so I started looking at things that were just so beat up. So it felt like prison.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, small concrete, no windows, crooked floors kind, you know, like uneven ceiling floors. And it was like, and I get rejected. I'd be like, oh, I'm thinking of like building this chocolate kitchen, you know, like, hi, can you write it down? And they're like, do you have customers? Like, no, you know, I'm just thinking about finding a spot. And so I was getting rejected from all these places. And I really felt like God was calling me to do this. And so I was like, God, you gotta help me. If this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I don't know what I'm doing. And I always tell people what happened was one time I just got in my sleep a vision of a white picket fence. And so that's what I went off of. I got in my car and I drove around Oahu looking for a white picket fence. And that's how I ended up in Manoa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there was one building with white picket fence and it's commercial, which is very unusual, right? You can find white picket fences in houses, but not commercial property.
Yeah.
So that's where I went and I said, oh my gosh, I need to be here. You know, I told the partner, I got to be here. And he was like, why? And I was like, you got a white picket fence. And I know I'm supposed to build this kitchen. And of course, it's too expensive, right?
Yeah,
So I ended up there because I just kind of like niele walking around the building, you know, like, oh, I have nothing else to go off of except the white picket fence. So I started going around the back of the building and there was, I saw another unit and then I went up and I was like looking in the window because it was closed and it was dark. And this lady was inside. She saw me and she was just like, oh, come in, come in. It was like a dress shop. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to, you know, like, I just looking around, right? So she's so sweet. Her name was Linda Uehara. She invited me in and she's just like talking about the space and how it's so big for her dress shop and the rent is so high. And I was like, too big, too much rent. Do you think by any chance you'd want to have a smaller space and less rent and the other half is with me, you know? And she was like, what? And so I started telling her about, I'm just trying to build a kitchen. So I'll just take the back, you take the front, right? So that was kind of like the first initial like build out of building that commercial kitchen. But still, it was like I still was doing my other job. So I was getting my income from teaching dance and kind of testing this out, right? Like just doing the
Yeah,
kitchen
yeah.
part. So it was good, you know. I put like made some chocolates, put in a little mini beverage refrigerator in her store. Then she'd just like bang the wall and yell at me like, "Hey, you ran out," you know? And they're like, "What? Everyone wants to know when you make more." I'm like, "Oh, people like it." So I just make more, put it in, you know. So that was kind of how that was going. It was when I was like on a mission trip. I was gone in Japan, and she decided to retire, which I didn't see coming. And so she's like, "Oh shoot, Erin, the lease was under her." So she's like, "You either gotta take the space, or you gotta find another space, or you can quit now." And I was like, oh man, I was like, I just, you know, wanted the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then that's when I really felt like God was like, you're gonna open a store. You're gonna do this. I was like, no. You know, making chocolate by yourself in a kitchen is one thing, right? And selling whatever you can make.
Yep.
But opening a store means somebody's gotta be there. I gotta make a store. And so that's where exactly that was it. I was teaching the dance. Thankfully, I put everything in savings, and it was $30,000. And I took the whole thing to build out the shop, the kitchen, get settled for. That's why I say 2014 is the start, because that's when I felt like legit, like there was a door, a sign, and employees.
Yeah.
And the full on, we're doing this. Here's all the money, and I hope we make money.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that in order to be successful in anything, you got to take risks like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot, there's no shortcuts. And I feel like when you don't have a backup plan,
Yeah.
it's usually the best because you're going to like, I mean, even like when Marcia and I opened the boot camp, it failed. Our first one failed bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was called The Studio. And I mean, we built out this place beautiful in one of the marketplaces where the piano place is now.
Yeah, that's right.
And we did that whole thing and we just couldn't make it.
Oh.
And then we were finally back to the corner where we had to lease something. They let us out of that, but we had to take another spot that was smaller in the front of the marketplace. And we had a house that we were paying for. We had young kids. And we're like, we have no choice. And then Marcia goes, okay, we're going to start a boot camp. And I'm like, oh, no, this is not aerobic class. I ain't teaching. I'm not doing like any aerobic tip. And she goes, no, you do whatever you want. I'm like, oh, I'll try it. But it has to be like this. And it has to be your theory.
It has to be like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though it has to be like this was like, it's got to be like, you got to pump the music. You got to make it exciting. You got to be super exciting. I'm like going, oh, that's not me. I'm not, I mean, people think that I'm that exciting type of guy, but I'm not. I rather just be alone, like in the gym by myself and and not be there going, come on, let's do this. Come on, go, go, go.
Yeah.
And she was like, you just gotta be, and she was coaching. I mean, funny because she never taught any classes, but she'd watch and go, Ian, you gotta bring some energy. You gotta.
I love that. I love her.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a good yin and yang,
Yeah, it really has, you know, and it's kind of that same thing. You just gotta, you know, do it, right?
Yeah.
And for my racquetball career, I moved to California and I lived in my car.
Yeah.
Right?
I was like, you're
So,
crazy.
I had no
backup plan.
Yeah, I had no backup.
Hustle.
So that's kind of like what I believe. That's the way I believe, you know, to do things. And then like I just kind of want to go back to where you were programmed when you're young. Like that dance isn't you don't want that as a career and I feel like a lot of I want to say Asian parents.
Oh yeah.
Their whole thing is like go to college,
right?
Be safe,
yep.
Don't take that kind of chances.
Yep.
And I guess it ingrained in you to that point, but then you changed it. You wrote the story different.
Oh, that was not easy though.
Yeah.
That was ingrained in me, right? Like you get a federal, city and county job, go to college, right? Get married, have kids, live a simple life. I was like, got it, mom. You know, like went to college, became a school teacher, yep. And I quit like one day before tenure. And it was 2008. And and I know my parents were just like, what are you going to do? You know, like what? I mean, and it was like, shoot, because I think that was the first time I felt like I really disappointed them.
Yeah.
And they couldn't understand, you know, like what, you know, we supported you. You were doing well in school. We helped you through college, you know, And now I'm like, I can't get a job. I can't afford my rent. Can I move back home? And it's like, what are you gonna do, Erin? And I was like, I don't know. Like trying to like it was so that's why it wasn't just don't worry, mom, dad, I got this business plan, like because my family are not entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And so even within my close knit family, it was like everybody worked in one place. They were loyal and they stayed at that company, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't sit still. Like I would be in the college and then I was like, my boss was like, you're not going to make it here, And then it was like, oh, I can do the dance, but I want to teach here too. And I want to do this dance now. And I want to, so going into that was kind of like a huge risk, right? Like we're like, what if it doesn't work? Ooh, do you know if Manoa is a good place? Actually, a lot of business guys told me, you so stupid. You are so stupid. They're like, there is no foot traffic in Manoa.
Yeah.
And you're picking the farthest in the valley
Yeah.
at a place that looks like a house.
Yeah.
So to this day, people at the gas station will look at it, but not come because they're
Yeah.
not sure who we are, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, this does, what kind of MBA you got? Like, and I was like, I know, I wasn't, like, but it was really like, there's so much of that. But, right now, today, after, working at it and really just trying to stick to it, like my parents are one of my greatest supporters today, volunteering every week, to change light bulbs. My dad changed light bulbs. My mom picks up, heavy cream butter. Oh shoot, we ran out of butter, mom, like, and they're my biggest supporters. But that during that time, right, it was kind of like, oh man, what is she gonna do with her life?
What kind of things what kind of things did they say to you when you first was like, okay, I'm going all in with this?
I think they're just worried and
Yeah,
scared.
yeah.
I think they're just worried and scared because they didn't know how to help or how to do it, right? I don't really remember. I just remember it wasn't as we weren't talking as much. It was
Yeah.
kind of more just like, all right, well, you should be paying rent,
Yeah.
if you're coming back home or, like
Yeah.
just like the tension
Yeah.
of something.
So you think you felt, I mean, you definitely felt that they were thinking like, I think you got a bad idea. You shouldn't be doing this.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought I had a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, my husband was on board, although he had his moments of like, you sure? Like, or I'm like, can you come help? He's like, for free? Why? When are you going to get people to do this or pay? And I was like, oh, I just need help. I just can call your friend or, like, do you know somebody that can come in? And so there's a lot of that. I think even today, some people will still be like, oh, do you know what you're doing? Or I don't think that's a good idea. Like everybody's getting rid of brick and mortar. Everybody's getting rid of, we're going all tech. We're going all remote. We're going all, so they're like, you're going to open, like there's always like, and some people are like, yay, this is great. We love what you're doing. So you can't make everybody happy, right?
Yeah.
But
it's funny though how parents like say, like you felt like you disappointed them when you quit being a school teacher. And
right.
I think the Asian community or the older Asian community, school teachers is super high on the list.
Yeah.
Both of my parents are school teachers.
Yeah.
And both of their parents were like, oh, that's so good. You're a school teacher, and it's not the easiest thing. And you got to have a passion for it. Otherwise, I don't know, like I couldn't.
Right. Yeah.
That's definitely not for me. But when you quit, I can see how the parents would be super disappointed. Like, they said when I quit University of Hawaii and I decided not to play baseball, my parents and my grandparents, I was like, whew, it's bad. Now, for you, was it where almost like you felt like they're disappointed in you and then you felt like maybe, they weren't supporting you anymore, but then you had to move home. But tell me, like, what was that like for you? Like, how did you overcome that? How did you get out of it? How did you still pursue the business and then still, keep doing it? Like in your head, like, what were you thinking?
Was I thinking?
Yeah. I can tell you what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
I'm going to show you. I'll show you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys are wrong.
I didn't have that,
I didn't think so. That's why
I know. I didn't have that fight for, I would just have to say, for me, it was like I hit rock bottom. Everything hit rock bottom. Like the guy I thought I was going to marry in 2008 ended up, and I thought I was going to move with him to the mainland. He ended up moving to the mainland with another girl that I knew. And then it was like I had no money. I had to move home, disappointing my parents. My other friends are going in their careers, you know, I'm not getting a job. So I think that was like just so rock bottom for me that that's actually when I was like, oh my gosh, okay, is there a God? If he's real, I should give him a shot now, you know. And that's kind of why I went to church,
Oh,
because it was like, I got nothing.
that
What do
makes
you got?
sense. Yep, yep.
And it was hearing not that, oh, if you follow me, your life will be easy and great. It was like I just heard, I felt hope, you know, like there is hope for doing good for other people, or there's a purpose, or there's a plan. And it might not be the plan that you had, because I planned everything in my life. So it was like, oh shoot, all of it came crashing down at once. So then it was like, what am I supposed to do? Because my plan didn't work. So it was like, he has a plan.
Yeah.
So it kind of gave me a little bit more room to just be like, okay, let me have hope that there is still hope for me, you know, even though it's not going to go the initial way that I thought. So that's, I think, what changed a little my mentality to open up and be like, okay, I'll just work at the college and see what happened. Okay, I'll just take another dance class, and you know what, I'm helping kids. All right, I'm making them happy. All right, I'll just keep teaching, you know, like
Yeah.
kind of just doing that, like, oh, you know, like, oh, if that's going to be, oh, we want you to come do this. It's like, oh, does that kind of align with just loving people, you know? Then is it something that I feel like I can add value? Well, try it, you know, give it a shot. So I think that is kind of what kept me driven to go in any direction, not necessarily like,
Full trust and
yeah, and just kind of being able to be like, I know all of you don't know, and I don't know, but this I'm doing today is good.
yeah,
You know, what I did for that person was a good thing.
yeah.
So if I
You
kind of
get a
just keep
small
doing
wins
that,
here.
yeah. I was like, I don't know what that is anymore.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why people say, oh, so what's the dream? Is it to open 10
Yeah.
locations and blah, blah. I was like, I don't really know. You know, it's still a journey. And I don't want to limit myself to like, oh, when I open this many, I will consider it a success. It's like, if I enjoyed going into work today, did some good, was able to take care of everybody, take care of my family, call it a win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's super good, right? That I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So you're just following your passion, just enjoying every moment.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forget about that, you know, and they don't realize like every moment. Like I
Right.
think I made a couple posts recently about, you know, you don't have a chance again
Right.
at certain things, especially in experiences and, you know, with the kids and stuff. So
Yeah.
even if it might seem like a nightmare right now, that might be the nightmare that you might miss later on when you get
Right.
older, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that, I mean, that's a really good thing. I mean, that you're doing is that just kind of letting it go. And I feel like,
Good time.
I think if I had that same kind of faith, I think for me as an athlete, it would have been a lot easier because it was never, I mean, I know a lot of people, oh, God has a plan for you, and that's why you lost. I mean, God, like,
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, you're like, what?
and yeah, it was super hard. And,
Yeah.
you know, I went to church at one point when I was going through this super gnarly divorce, and it really helped me because I think a lot of people who end up staying with churches and going to church, when the first time they go, Pastor's speaking to me.
Right.
Like, wait.
Right. How do you know my life?
Yeah. Like, why is he talking to me? And I'm like, I'm looking at everyone in that church, and I'm going, they cannot have the same problem like me.
Right.
He's talking to me.
Yeah.
Right. And then so I kept going, and I mean, for the way I was brought up and the way I think, it's really hard for me to just kind of let go.
Right.
I'm one of those that I got to control my stuff.
Oh, yeah, same,
You
right?
know? So it's like super hard. So I never really.
No, because it's not a total let go, right? Like you still got to put in work, right? You know,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not like,
Yeah.
oh, let me just pray to God, you know, like, and then everything, you know, it's like, no, it's like, it's work.
Yeah.
To be here and to do good things takes work, and to be all those things is, and that's why it's so funny, because it's like such a touchy topic, right? Because like that, it's like, oh, I do have a plan for you, and it's like could hit the wrong way when you say things like that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just, it works different, I guess, for different people, and or the timing, and you know what's happening along the way. But that helped me through whenever, you know, because otherwise it's like, yes, mom and dad, what do mom and dad want? So now when it's like, oh, I messed up, you know, then it's like, oh no, you kind of, as you grow up, right, you're just trying to figure out like yourself too, right? Like, okay, if that wasn't me, well, who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? And so much of our career is tied to who we are.
Yeah.
So I think it's not a complete let go, but it helps me to be more flexible, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you only gonna like that, right, you're just
Yeah.
gonna hold right here. Actually, that might not be it, right? You have to
Exactly.
have a little bit of or something to be able to kind of maneuver, right?
Yep. Yep.
So that's kind of what I feel like. It's giving me a little reminder, like you cannot control everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you're still gonna work at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know. I mean, that was one of the things, like, I'd mingle with the people after church and stuff.
Yeah.
I met a lot of them are like, yeah, I like, so what, like, we get into conversations. Yeah, I don't know what's next for me. It's up to the Lord. I'm going, wow, you better hustle. He ain't gonna just give you something.
Right.
But like a lot of them, I felt like were thinking like that, and I was like
Yeah.
going, dude, that's like, and then then of course the way I think, I'm like, that's not the circle I'm gonna hang out with.
Right.
And then I would run into the real pushy ones,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, dude, like, you cannot push this on me, because
Yeah.
And then for me it was, but I always wish, like, man, I wish I could just kind of let it go to God, and like, I've heard a lot of people, and I just wasn't like, it's not in my cards. So it's like really interesting for me to like talk to someone like you. And anytime someone's like that, I'm like, going, what? You just had a vision, and then you felt like God sent that to you? And they're like, yeah, white picket fence. I'm like, I gotta talk to Erin about this white picket fence.
I know, and it sucks because it's like, how do I get that? How do I see that? Right? Like, and it's just like, did you really, really know? And it was like, probably not 100%. But like, that's why it's like faith. Because you don't really know, even in business, right? Like, we're making all these decisions that we think, but there's that 2% chance I totally screwed this up, and that happens repeatedly. But then what's better? Just wait and sit and do nothing? At least if you're going in the wrong direction, you can be like, oh, shoot, recorrect. Oh, it wasn't that way, right?
Yeah.
Like coming into like hiking and you're like, I gotta get back on the trail. And then you're just like, that wasn't the trail. Okay, that's not, then eliminate that route.
Yeah.
There is a trail this way, right?
Yeah.
Or you're going to sit there and be like, trail, where
please show up, trail.
Show up. Or maybe a little pause is good.
Yeah.
To think.
Take a breath.
And be like, where did I come from? So therefore, what way or what sounds do I hear that'll tell me that? But not forever.
It's funny. I mean, okay, so the other thing I was thinking is, like, you said, okay, you dreamt the white picket fence.
Okay.
Did you, when you woke up, did you write that down, or it was that clear to you that you remembered it? Because like I know I have dreams.
I write everything down because I journal all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the time I have no idea why I'm writing something, and when I look back, I can see, that I did struggle with that, because you forget.
Yeah.
Like within a week, you're like, was it that bad last week? Oh yeah, I was really sad on Wednesday.
Oh, you're pretty good with the whole week. Mine's by the next day, I forgot what happened.
No, I forget. But that's why I look back, because sometimes it's like, I'm like, I never had this much trouble before. And my husband's always like, that was like 2 days ago. And I was like, no, this is so much harder. This is, and then like when I look at I'm like, oh yeah, I did write that a couple of days ago. Or it's like a reminder, like, you got through this. You can get through this too. But some days you're just like, oh, today I cannot. Today I cannot.
So the days that you feel like that, like today you cannot, like what?
Yeah.
How do you get yourself back on track? Because you have a business and you can't just go, I'm going home, close the shop, I'm going to bed.
That's the good thing, I guess, about having teams of people who love your products, kids waiting for you at home, right? You cannot, it's just like, okay, I got to take care of that person. So then, on the days you're like, I don't care about anything, right? It's like, oh shoot, there's still people that are like relying on you. And so whenever I try to focus on making somebody else, helping somebody else, adding value to somebody else, taking care of, just listening to my kid that day or whatever, it helps me to get out of the funk, not necessarily, I don't want to do it, right? Like, it's like, I don't want to go to Egan's every evening. Let me be honest.
But we're so happy to see you. You have to show up.
I literally am like, just do your routine. Yeah. Just drive there. Yeah. You can decide when you're in the parking lot. That's what I told myself. So I'm like, you can decide in the parking lot. I get to the parking lot, I'm like, I don't want to go in. It's like, well, you're already here. You know, like if you sit too long, you have this talk with yourself. Like, but I rather just, no, I don't want to talk to anybody today. I don't want to smile at anybody today, right? And it's like, I told the girls, like, I'll see you tomorrow. So then, it's like you go in and you're like, this is maybe it's not about me today, right? Maybe it's just about showing up for them because you told them you were coming today, right?
Your promise, right?
Right. And so then it's going in there. Once you're in there, it's somehow, right? Then it kicks back and I write down in my journal, I write down in my journal every day 5 things I'm grateful for, 5 things I did good, right? Egan's. I worked out. I went to Egan's. So it's so funny because then when I'm like, I don't want to go, it's like at the end of every day I write that. Like, well, that's one of the things is like, oh, good job, you did this, right? But every morning it's like, oh, today I don't really want to go. So part discipline, right? Just having that routine.
Yeah.
Because you have to be consistent, right? To see the results or to feel the results.
Totally.
But then it's also just like, sometimes for me, I'm very people driven. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do it for that person. I'm going to show up for that person. And will give me the drive to get over myself and my pity part. I'll do it all day. But the kids come home and they're like, why are you just lying there? Like, what did you do? Are you tired? Why are you tired? They always tell me, why are you tired? So it's like, they're like, would you just sit in front of your computer all day? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, and they're like, come on, get outside. Let's go outside, and I'm like, I don't feel like going outside. But
if only I could just take some of their energy.
I know,
right?
They're good. They get me outside and then, 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I'm really happy I came outside.
Well, that's funny because that same thing, I don't feel like going foil boarding today because there's thunder and there's lightning and it's like ugly and all my friends canceled and
yeah.
I'm like, just drive there and then decide when you get there. And I get there, I'm like, I'm already here. Freaking, I may as well go out.
Yeah.
And things like freaking blowing and chopped up but when I get in, I'm like, oh, it was horrible the conditions, but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
And so for some reason that just it's in my head for everything I do. Like, I don't want to jump in that cold plunge, but I know how good it's going to feel after.
Right.
And people think like, oh, Ian, you're so good. You're like clockwork.
Right. That's what people think. I was like, no.
Yes, not right.
It's like a choice every time. There was, I don't know if you ever read, because we read a lot of the same book. When you put that bookshelf on, I was like, yeah, I read that. It's like, but James Clear.
Yeah.
Atomic Habits.
Oh, yeah.
You read that one?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think I've done that one 2 or 3 times.
It's those, like he said, right? Just put on the shoelaces, take off the shoes. Yeah. Put on the shoes to go to the gym, take off the shoes to go to the gym. Drive to the gym, go back home. Yeah. Drive to the gym, go back home. Eventually, right?
Yeah.
But then you said you're just betting on yourself that I'm the kind of person that invests in my health.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that does this. So it's not, I gotta go work out.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I'm the kind of person that shows up when it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that will, keep pushing even though I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
was it in his book they had that one guy that wanted to work out but he was really out of shape and he just told the guy, just come and sit in the gym?
Yep.
That's the one, right?
Okay. That's the one.
Okay. that one.
And then he was like,
repeats it.
How could I be a guy that comes and sits in the gym? I might as well work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, it wasn't that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what book,
good.
but I think about that one. I think about that a lot. And I feel like in order to own a business, you really have to have that mindset because
you want chocolate?
It's hard. Oh yeah, we got some chocolates.
We've been talking.
Yeah, let's see the chocolates.
Sure.
Okay.
Your favorites. I brought your favorites. You guys want chocolate?
My answer, yeah.
So she knows my favorite chocolates.
All right, these are chocolate covered Oreos. Woo! I was like, here. These are our truffles. I know. How did I know? Look, I brought 3. I was like, how many people do you think might be over here?
Oh, wow.
I had no idea. So there's 3
Thank you.
of our signature truffle boxes right there. Yeah, you're welcome.
I didn't want to text Erin or tell Erin, goes, Erin, can you bring us some chocolates? And there's like 4 of us here.
I know. I was like, what are the odds? Yeah. Oh, and I brought these 3 duck horns too. So don't give this to Jet.
Oh, okay.
This is Marcia's favorite.
Yeah.
That's 72%. This is your favorites. This is the
truffle box.
This one is custom. It's Kona coffee, affogato, and mint because that's what you like, right?
Yep. That is it.
Yeah.
And then what is the one that she had yesterday? You have a new coffee one.
Oh,
Oh, Vietnamese coffee.
oh yeah, that's
That one was
limited.
super good too.
Super limited.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good. She got that one.
Limited. You know, it's so good because like
Super.
it's limited. So when they have it, you got to buy as much as you can.
Yeah,
like-
it's like every month we innovate. Every single month. So it's like it's there, and then by the time you read your email, it's been like 1 week, right? And then it's like
Yeah.
starts running out the last week, so you got 2 weeks. It gets really fast.
Yeah.
We keep changing.
It's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with like different flavors or different?
We need to see you try one.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. You can see how I do it. You know, the problem is when I start, it's hard, like a box like this.
Really?
I finish the box.
Really?
Well,
You eat a bunch of
okay, so this is my strategy. So say I came into the store and I did this set just like this here. It's 9 days.
Ah!
So I do one per day.
Wait. What is your
Okay.
strategy again?
So here's my strategy. If I come in and I get 9 pieces of chocolate like this here, what I usually do actually is I get all the same flavors and I have each flavor is one box. And each one is going to be 9 days. Okay, because if I have 3 like this here, I'm going to eat 3 of these and that's 1 day. So this would actually last me
that's
3
3
days.
days.
Yeah. But if I have only one flavor, then I play this discipline game. Because I've actually had, I don't know, your neck size box, the one that's a rectangle.
Yeah.
I'll eat that all in 1 day.
Oh, yeah.
And I've done that a bunch of
Oh,
times.
man.
So I was like, okay, we're going to play this discipline game.
Oh.
And so I've tried that with like
It's a
David.
mental battle right there.
And I brought David a box.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, David, this is 18 days worth.
Yeah.
And he was all right. And then the next day he goes like, you shouldn't have brought me those chocolates. I go, why? He goes, I ate them all. I'm like, you're not supposed to. You keep telling me you want to work in your discipline. I don't have discipline for that kind of stuff. So I'm like,
I love that. I love that story. Like,
And only normal on the Relentless podcast, by the way. Level of discipline. Smooth place though, I've learned.
no, but yeah, it's funny, right? Because it's like strategy or reward. Like people use it for different. Like mine is 1 square a day.
yeah.
Or sorry, 1 square after every meal. This one is 1 square after
And my
every
meal.
meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, you know how people take a bite of it? I'll just put it in my mouth. And I'll keep it there. And then I enjoy it.
There.
And then I put no other food in my mouth until I can't taste that at all.
Oh, I like it.
So you know how they say like you enjoy the thing?
Yeah.
I totally
You
do.
should do your own master class
So like
on how to
break
eat
a
the
piece here.
chocolate.
I stuck in the piece that goes into by my tongue.
Yeah.
The rest stay here like chewing tobacco.
Oh my
I don't chew tobacco, but I just
It would
assume
be
that's
like
what I
that.
do.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
I chew chocolate.
Relentless dieting.
So yeah, so it'll be here.
Right.
I can talk. I just got to make sure it doesn't come on the side of my mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I was going to write a book. I mean, I wrote a book.
Yeah.
And because everyone's like, you got to write a book. You got to write a book.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not that guy. Like,
What, that writes books?
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm totally not that guy. But it was like, you got so much stories, Egan. That's
Yeah.
all you got to do. Collect the stories, make chapters.
Oh, not that easy, but okay.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then this guy I hired that helped me write the book. Okay, and all you got to do is write 200 words a day. You
Yeah.
think that's possible? I'm like, yeah. He was okay. 200 words a day. This many months is done.
Mm.
Oh yeah, not too hard. So he helped me set up the outline and everything, and I found all the quotes for the beginning of my chapters, and then I was like, all right. So I started doing it. Then I almost finished.
Okay.
This is kind of typical of me. I almost finished projects.
Yeah.
Done. I quit.
Mm.
And then Marcia was like, he called my friend that worked at the Hyatt. Can you get Egan a room for 3 days
yeah.
at the Hyatt?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, frick, the Hyatt. Yeah, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
We're going to go like a staycation. And Marcia's like, no, you're going to stay there by yourself till you finish your book.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that's all right. I can do that.
Huh?
And then that's how I finished the book.
Yeah.
Which brings me to your book, because was it similar? Because,
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. It was actually similar to that.
oh, really?
Yeah. It was
Even
like,
if you're a school teacher?
it's not.
One chocolate store?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
like I started writing in the pandemic because I had no chocolate to give because we shut down everything. Now we had to shut down everything. We lost everything. And so I lost all the customers. And so I was like, and I didn't have chocolate. So I was like, okay, who am I again? You know, that whole like your careers, your life, and everything. And I was like, well, who am I without chocolate? And you know, I was like, who is Erin without chocolate? And I was just like, okay, I got nothing except this email list of customers who are not customers, because customers are technically people who buy stuff from me, and nobody's buying anything from me. So I was like, I'm going to just call them chocolate friends. So I just started writing emails to them. Dear chocolate friends, during the pandemic, this is what's happening this week. This is what we lost. This is, I don't know how you're feeling. I'm trying to find some hope. Same thing, trying to go through that whole finding hope. What's the plan? What's the purpose? Where are you, God? That whole, exploration and tying it back to scripture. And I just wrote every week, sent. Didn't really think anything of it, because I actually thought our ship was going down. So I was like, this is the end. I literally was like, this is the end. I might as well just bring hope to all these people. It says bringing peace to our world, one chocolate at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bringing peace to our world, one, no more chocolate at a time. So I was like, what do I do? So I was just like, I'm just gonna try and bring them peace without chocolate,
Yeah.
And then people just responded. Nobody writes back to my emails. I don't even have to read my emails. But all of a sudden, everybody was writing back to me. Keep going. Tell me more. This gave me hope this week. Thank you. And I was like, what? So I'd write another one once a week. Once a week, I was just writing these emails. About, I don't know how many months in was when I would realize, like, oh my gosh, I'm writing a book. Because I was making it by each chapter was almost like a week in the life of the entrepreneur / mom, trying to navigate a whole thing where all the business coaches I called were like, we don't know what to do, right? And I was like, great, I gotta figure this out again, oh, how do we do PE at home with Zoom with a kindergartner? And work and cannot collect unemployment because I'm working on my business that has no money again, it was just so many, it's another rock bottom, right? Where you're just so that's all I could do in the moment. That's all the energy I had sometimes, was to try and bring hope to other people, even, with that writing. But I found myself writing all the way up till the end of the year. And I did the same thing. I booked the Prince Waikiki and I locked myself in there to finish editing to get this done by the end of the year. So that it could go out 1 year exactly after when the pandemic started.
Oh, wow.
So you could follow along the journey or whatever pandemic you were going through and find encouragement. Because it was literally a part diary of oh, this sucks. Or and then the next 20 was it's the same thing we were talking about. It was just sitting in it. And then after a while, you're like, okay, I can't just sit here and do nothing. I need to figure out, how am I going to make some kind of life again? And so then the second half of the book was about me trying to figure out what are the routines I'm going to have in life to get me to the gym, to get me to go and start again, and try to establish those things. And that's kind of how it came about. It wasn't intentional, oh, I have this idea for this book, but it became 20 reflections and 20 routines from 2020. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
But similar journey.
Yeah, I don't know. You seem like you had a better plan than I did.
No, not really. But it's so funny.
You also said you're the type that likes to have a plan, where I think for me, it's like you see the ocean that goes like this against, that's me. Or you look in my car, it looks like that. And Marcia always says, yeah, look in your brain, probably looks like that too. And it kind of is.
But it's both, because I like the plan, but then when I get into that flow, to me, that's flow.
Yeah.
It's just you just go, right? It's like when you walk around, you see people at the gym, you talk to them, you go and catch the wave. Well, that was, let's go in this direction. That's kind of where you feel the most free.
Yeah.
And yourself,
Yeah.
But I know if I don't have some structure, then I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I might be having a lot of pity parties.
Well, that's good. I mean, Marcia's kind of like my structure. Otherwise, sometimes I'm that, the wind blows that way. I'm I mean, except for foil boarding, except for fitness, and except for training.
Oh,
those things.
See, you do. Some things you do and some things you don't.
But most of the other things, Like, oh, we have a baseball meeting tonight. What baseball meeting? I got this. She goes, why is it not on the planner? I'm like, I gotta go to a baseball meeting. Like, did you just go to a baseball meeting?
Yeah.
And it's funny because another team had a baseball meeting, and I was there, and I was like, wait, I don't have a meeting today, do I? And they're like, no, not. Oh, you're one of those dads, huh? You don't know about meetings.
Hey, but we do other things. So, right? That's why I told people, I was like, hey, we all got our shreds, okay? I might have missed that, but I was like, what do you guys need? Who do you need help with? That's why I tell some groups, I'm like, nope, that's not me. You don't want me there for that. That's kind of like you were talking about, like the innovation part.
Yeah.
So I have structure, like, okay, we got to always innovate. But there's, for me, thinking block time, where there's time that I'm just like the structure to don't take up this block, because I need time where I can just look for inspiration, go out, talk to people, find out what people are needing. What are people going to? What ideas do other people have? And soak things in, and kind of then be able to kind of freely like, I wonder if we should make a theme about this, or I wonder if people are looking for that, and then bring it back to the team and then be like, can we make this? Is this possible? So it's kind of like, and then they make the magic work, right? Like they're like, okay, great ideas, Erin. Where are we going to get that kind of ingredients? And I'm like, does anybody know somebody in this? Hey, does anybody, look at your phone? Look in your phone. Who's in your phone? As the model said. I was like, look in your phone. It's like, do you know anybody? I mean, I literally did that before I came here. They're like, oh, we want to do this. And I was like, oh, I know somebody does that. And they're like, oh, we want to try a different company. I was like, I don't know anybody there. Let's just call them. See if they want to do it, and it's like, you know or you don't know. And if you don't know, you make friends with them and you try and find out, like, hey, you want to collab? You want to do this?
Wow.
We don't make this.
That's how you get your inspiration and stuff that, like, for the company and things to do is like, you actually just mingle with people.
It's always comes from people, comes from, beautiful places, spaces, good food, anywhere. It's always, it's so random. Like, it'll even be like a workout, right? Like, I'm like, oh, there's people really focused on health. And that's why I did the 72%, because I said some people really want to enjoy, but they need something that's not going to be so addicting, but more of a satisfying but healthier option that's still good. And so then that's where that came out. Because then I said, let me try, because I was on my own health journey. So I'm like, I want to try and create something that's an option for those people too, You
know what's great about like the dark chocolate and the chocolate industry, I think, is that they're finding more and more health benefits from dark chocolate. And it wasn't paid for by big chocolate, remember red wine's super good for your health. That was paid for by, the alcohol companies have so much money, right? And then now when you get outside research or third party research, they're starting to show that no alcohol is actually the best for you. Right. But everyone has been convinced for so many years that it was good for you, but it's because there's a lot of money.
You gotta look at the source,
right?
Saying it.
Whereas I feel like dark chocolate is completely a different thing. It's just study after study. And no one's really paying for it. It's not like chocolate companies like yourself.
Basically, if you go 100, that's superfood.
Yeah,
it is superfood.
Hard to eat too.
It's hard to eat though, but I got the benefits.
Yeah, right. So, well, that's neat. Wow, maybe I should mingle with people more. A lot of my mingling, this is it. Like,
no, but it's a mix. You better get the gym, right?
Yeah, I do. But a lot of the things I think about is usually when I'm alone. Usually when I'm foil boarding or I'm doing something boring, like paddling out.
Right.
Or even when I ride waves, like sometimes I'll just stop and I'll sit down because I'm like, oh man, that's a good idea. Now, how can I remember this? I'm like, I got like freaking about 2 more miles back to shore. And I just sit there.
Yeah.
And
no, but that's good. Because I think that happens for me too. Like sometimes when I'm like doing absolutely nothing and it's super quiet, there's no music, there's no sounds, and I'm just, oh, where'd that idea come from? It's a mix, But if you're just in isolation, then it's not good, right?
I don't know. I don't really get ideas, like that many ideas when I talk to people.
I think you do.
I think I just get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Like just making fun, and like when people have ideas, and I just like, sometimes people have great ideas, but I think most of it from like for me, like even like if Marcia goes, okay, this is your project. If I sit there, I can't do it. I can't figure out how to do it. It's like cleaning my truck. I can't clean it. I just don't know how. I look at it, I'm like going, and I think I made a video where the jiu-jitsu mats are. Used to be like a storage room. And then when we were going to move the jiu-jitsu mats there and we're going to bring the boot camp room downstairs and put weights upstairs, that's all my junk over there. And that's where I created like the jet ball. And like, I'm one of those guys that don't clean up the mess because you're going to mess up my system. You ever see that sticker? So I used to always, as a kid, I always had that sticker on my desk.
Yeah.
So my mom wouldn't touch my desk because once she cleaned it up, I couldn't find it.
Oh, thanks for telling me. I got to remember that with my son. Maybe that's why.
So your son, it can like, where's this? Can he like?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, so I think that's a different kind of thinking.
I'm like, I can throw this away. It's like, no, because that, I mean, it looks like rubbish, but it's like, it's the transformer something that uses it. I'm like, okay. Like, got it. Thank you. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, because like if I told Marcia or the kids, they're looking for something, I'll tell them it's over here on my desk or where by my bed or whatever in my truck. Can't find it. I'm like, it's right. And I can tell them exactly where it is. And then we go there and I'm like, look. And then I go up under a couple of things. And like, you didn't say to go down digging in the freaking mess in there. But it's like the mind organizes different ways.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like even for training or even, like a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It's the same way. Like I can't train you like how I train the kids.
Right.
Or my 98-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Like all of those things are different. Like for you in your business, I'm wondering like to hiring people is I don't hire. I don't go to staff meetings because I'm no good at those things. Right? But you're obviously doing the hiring for your shop, right? And I mean, Marcia does all of that.
Yeah.
And she does the day-to-day things with the employees and like that's not me.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? Like how do you hire or like say how do you coach your or get your employees to do the things like this is your job and get them up to speed, and if they're not doing it, like how do you get them to do it?
That's the hardest part, I think, and it's the most rewarding part, but that's the hardest part because it's like I'm not really like that. I'm actually better free, random in my flow, creating content, innovating, connecting with people. So when I have to follow the schedule and operations and make sure everyone's doing their thing and it's on time, it's really hard for me. So it's not something I really love doing. But I know that that's where I'm at for the size of my business and the people that I have, that I kind of went from the kitchen making chocolate to opening a store, so then figuring out customer service and retail, and then going, oh shoot, do we have money? Figure out finances, And so I was kind of like learning all the roles, right? Then you're hiring people and you're like, HR, I got to learn this part. And so I kind of learned everything. So I think that helps because I did all the jobs. So I know what to hire for, what to look for, how to train. But it's really tiring for me. It's not my zone. And I know that. That's why it's like it's what I'm still working on, is trying to empower people to either find their niche, which takes a while to figure out what they don't know sometimes, right? Yeah. So trying to figure out what they are good at, what's the best way to communicate with them, how are they motivated, how do they think, do you leave their mess or you need to help them clean, or they can't stand the mess, but making it work within the company, but also for the individual is like constant ongoing, because even if somebody stays with you for like 9 years, they have seasons in their life where they change and things happen outside that affect it. And so it's constant puzzle of trying to figure it out to make sure that they're the most satisfied in their work and they're contributing in ways that they feel very meaningful in their work. So not putting the wrong people in the wrong positions. Yeah. But I learned it the hard way, right? Like before I was like, oh, everybody has a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So you had graduated in this and you go here and you go here, right? But then I just didn't know until you like, oh, why is this not working? Why is it, how come you're slow at this? And then try go over here. And then you're like, oh, shoot. You thought you were a culinary person, but you are actually a service person, and helping people discover that. But then it's a challenge because they have to accept it too, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they might be like, no, I do this. And I'm like, no, that's not what you do. You know?
Yeah.
So that's what Marcia does. I understand, but it's not my strength zone.
Yeah.
So that's what I struggle with. People always say like, wow, you built such a good culture. Wow, you brought this. And I said, yeah, but doesn't come naturally for me. I'm more like you guys saw that? I had that vision. So you guys see it too? Let's go. You know? And everyone's like, whoa. What are the steps? How are we gonna do that? What is the reasoning behind this? How long are we doing this for? You know, so I had to learn to structure it in a way that would work for the teams that I have. And when the team changes, the structure changes a little bit. So that's really the game, you know, constantly to win. Is you cannot keep fighting the same way when the people are different or the economy is different or so it's I like the strategy part, but the day-to-day execution is stifling for me, like creatively.
It's tough. Yeah. I think it's a tough thing. I mean, that's why Marcia does it, and I can see I think for her it's not an enjoyable thing either. But she's definitely like, she's tactful with her words, and like for me, like I would probably chase away everyone. Like no one would want to work for me. Like it is kind of how it is. It's like I do things certain ways, and that's just how it is.
Yeah. But there's a part for it. It's just that you need both, right? You kind of need somebody who's gonna keep this down and make sure it's, being communicated in a line. But then you also need the push of we try this. Like we kind of keep doing the same thing. Like it'll be okay. Is it? I don't know. Let's just try.
So that's kind of me. Like just go. Let's go. Let's just like shoot the shotgun in the air, and where the bullets land, that's it.
Yeah.
Just charge. And Marcia's like, wait. She charges too, but she's like, she likes a little bit more plan than I do.
Right. Like aim, fire.
She likes to aim a little bit more. Like I'll just fire and I go, okay, let's use a remote control and see if it can make it work, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, she's been through a lot with me. Like say the cryo company, I just went and freaking opened the thing. It's like when I saw the thing, I saw the studies, I tried it. I'm like, I'm bringing one to Hawaii. And she was like, what are you talking about? I'm going to find an investor. Don't worry. I don't have the money for it. I'm going to find someone.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now we got the thing in Hawaii. Now we got to open a business. And it was like, I brought it for me. Even the fitness thing, that's for me.
Yeah.
But she's the one that makes those things happen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the type where, like if she's having we have a little issue with, say, an employee, I'm like, and they're making excuses. I'm like, dude, that's an excuse.
Yeah.
Oh no, but I go, no, as soon as you say but, that's an excuse. I don't hear buts. After but, I don't hear anymore. So this is what needs to be done. Go get it done.
Don't say but.
Yeah. I would do that burpee again, but what?
What? Like,
Whereas Marcia will like approach it in a different way.
Yeah.
And slowly get the person.
Yeah.
Because too much times it's like, that's an excuse. Just do it.
Yeah.
People are going to quit.
But that's why you need both. That's why it's and that's why there's different leaders, different people, and different, places to go, and different constant learning, right? Because you just have different people you're working with. So that part is fun. It's like trying to figure it out, But then once you figure it out, I'm like, hey, go do your thing already. Because I was like, I don't wanna check in. I don't wanna, like, you got it. Give yourself. That's the hard part. Is like it takes so much effort to do your own growth.
Yeah.
That when you're trying to do growth for other people, which is what I just constantly do, and then people keep trying to tell me, Erin, you can't change everybody.
Yeah.
You gotta stop trying to be responsible for like, oh, but they're my team, so they're under my wing, so I'm trying to teach them, But that's how I burn out, right? Because then I'm constantly like, oh, how can I show you that this will be good for you, Like
it is. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah. So then I got to remember, maybe I don't know, maybe I don't even know. I think so, right? Like if you clean the mess, it would be more organized. You would be happier, But maybe that's wrong. Maybe you're like, don't worry. I actually got my own system.
Yeah.
Right. But people are afraid to say it, but they're in their head. They're thinking, why is she bothering me?
Why is it harassing me?
Yeah. So that's good. I come on, do stuff like this because it's fun.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, she's
She's out. Now we can relax a little bit. Probably the same way with me too. Like, oh, good. Ian's like in this podcast thing for a couple hours. He's not gonna be in the gym.
So funny, yeah. When you come in, everybody goes, "Oh,"
Right?
you're like,
right? Exactly.
"What
Exactly.
meeting is that?"
Exactly. I'm like, what do you mean? And then when I don't teach, they're like, how come you don't teach no more?
Yeah.
I say, well, you're the one
It's like, you
complaining.
know why? Because it's like a mirror of the push, right? Like you're gonna get pushed, and people are like, "I don't want to get pushed,"
Yeah.
and then after they're like, "That was a good push."
Yeah. It's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think my style of teaching too, and that's why, like, say at our gym,
Yeah.
like each instructor, I like them to have their own voice or their own
Yeah.
style.
I
Like,
love that.
as long as the style isn't like gnarly, like that's the only thing. Because when we first opened our first place, it was more martial art based fitness,
Mm-hmm.
so it was more strict.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because you gotta to me, you have, if the workout's gonna be super hard, you better have fun too.
Right.
There's gotta be funny things, right?
Yeah.
Which actually, my personality is more like, I like to tease people. I like to get teased. I make fun of people. They make fun of me, whatever. And I usually teach class like that. But in the meantime, people are going to push hard because they're not going to say something crazy to them if they don't.
Yeah.
So,
like, oh, he's walking over.
yeah,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like, I saw you. Don't, like,
yeah.
and it's funny because Jaden is like the general manager. So he oversees even me. Like, I'm an instructor under Jaden, even if I'm the guy, right? Which is cool because I'll follow his lead.
Yeah.
But every time we have a new trainer come, it's like, watch how Egan runs the classes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't copy his style. Don't say the things he says because only Egan can get away with
I
that.
can see Jaden being that really good structure.
He's super.
And, like calm. And that's why it works, right? And it's so funny because it's like, and I love that about all the coaches too, because even like Tia will say stuff like with this big smile of happiness of like how I want you to hurt. And we're like, did she just say she wants us to hurt? But she's smiling and it's so like, it's like a juxtaposition where you're just like, I am so happy, but I am so tired of working. And and it's like entertaining and like they all kind of have that kind of different style where you're like, wait, do you think I'm an athlete? Like, and then you're coming in and like Vic is just like, and if you're not following, you're lost.
Yeah.
So you better be right there with him, and he's gonna show you, and he just went way lower.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't count. And I was like, got it. That doesn't count. It's so fun, man. It's so fun.
That's good.
Because you allow them to be that different.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it become very human as opposed to being just like a rigorous workout. But you're like working out with this person,
I think that, everything I do is like that. Like, I believe, like, even say body structure wise, say for foil boarding, I'm trying to get better faster. So I'm looking for guys. I don't look for the best in the world necessarily, unless he's about the same physique as I am. Even if he's a lot younger, it makes a big difference. For like jiu-jitsu, for racquetball, I couldn't copy or imitate or try to be like a guy 6'4".
That makes sense.
I needed a guy 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
Like little stockier built. And I think it's the same, like everything, and like you say in your shop, you got to find the strengths of each person.
Yeah.
And all of my fighters was the same way. Like, I have no fighter that's exactly like me. They fight all different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the one thing, like, from my fighting school, my grappling guys, they're all different because I help them hone their style of game.
Yeah.
So I think it's a big deal because a lot of times you train with someone from the same school and they all have the same style. But a lot of them are no good at that style because they're not built for that style. Right. So I think it's the same like your dance, right? It's like same thing. If they're tall and skinny, come here, a shorter, thicker guy, the moves are gonna look different.
Looks different.
Might look pretty for this tall, long guy, but it ain't gonna look pretty for this short guy.
Yeah,
or vice versa.
Business needs to get that.
No,
the trainings are a little bit too. This is how you're gonna be successful. Everybody wants that. Like, this is the map, and it's like, no, because even if this guy comes with the same degree or whatever, right? Like, this person's past is different. This influence from their parents were different. This is like. So it's constant. Like, you have to figure it out and you have to almost just be you, but be the best you.
Yeah.
right? And then find where the best you can work with other best yous,
Yeah.
you know, like other people make that
Yeah,
work.
I think that's important. I mean, like, I'm surprised that you went all the way to almost 10 years as a school teacher, but I guess you got some freedom on how you structure your lessons. But in the DOE system, there's kind of, these are the things that you got
That's
to
why I
get done.
quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had so many ideas on lessons,
Hmm.
and I like to teach kids with dance and your body, and
Yeah.
because that's how I learn, you know, and like doing centers and games. But when it became, here's the standard, and when the official walks in and asks, what standard are you studying? They all got to be able to recite it, and all your things on your wall need to look like this. I was like, oh, shoot, this is hard for me. Too much structure was a little bit, you know, very exhausting. Isn't the point to get them to learn? So I love learning. So if it didn't, I couldn't do it the way that I thought would work for each kid because I had to do it the same, right? We had to, that's what was like, I can't do this, you know, like, because it's just too tiring and it wasn't working in that way to me,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, I don't know how teachers are doing it, but
I wonder if that's like, I mean, like, say, like a person who's a teacher that enjoys it, loves everything about it.
yeah.
I don't think those people can actually be a business owner. I think business owners, I think, are more like yourself.
Depends though, because I think some teachers are really good at, they don't have the resource and they're told they have to do this, but the kid's not learning that way. So they have to, on their own, figure out how to get that kid to learn. So the ones that really care about the kids, I think they're entrepreneurs in a way because they're going to figure out how do I get this kid to succeed, but they're doing it at the expense of their own time or their own other resource. Because if you follow what you're just given, right, it might not work.
Yeah.
And I think that goes for kind of like almost any job, right? Like if you just say this is the only way, then you're either going to be great person, which nothing wrong with it. There's great people who are like, that's the way and I will follow and I will do it.
Yeah.
But there's the people who can't, it's like the divergence or whatever you call those.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the people who can't stay in that box are the ones that are good to be in the places where there is no box.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, what do I say yes to and no to? And they'll be able to pivot better. So I do now see that, like what my old boss saw in me, that it is a kind of a personality thing too, like a character trait.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that, you know, because I was gonna be a state employee that
Yeah.
just, you know, so I was like, well, I don't think I'm a business person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed though, like as I've been getting older and meeting more people, a lot of the business owners are real similar to like me. And like I know I'm not necessarily known as a business owner, but more of an athlete or you know, whatever, world champion athlete. But I feel like it's all the same thing.
It is. I love watching sports because of like the strategy that goes into it, like the creation of teams to like, right? The watching the plays or whatever. That part's really interesting, you know, because it is like, it doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
Where you're like, no. It's not like just, oh, that guy was born talented. Yeah. And then we put him with the other talented people and they all ran around on the field or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it's exactly that, right?
Yeah.
Even opening a business, people will see like, oh man, look at her nice shop. And look at, you walk in, it's like all these beautiful chocolates.
Yeah.
But they don't see what happened. How did you start? What did you give up? And, you know, all of those kind of things, which, you know, people don't realize like that hard work and I think if they did, a lot of people would think a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, and I know like you have kids, you have a family, you have a business. You have to have some kind of release. Like you had to have like you probably still dance a little bit, maybe, right?
Yeah.
What would you say is like your hobbies or what are things like you do for you? Like maybe get pedicures and manicures or hair done or
working out. But I think my favorite thing is to just read and write.
Oh.
Yeah, I like quiet alone time.
Okay.
Same thing.
That's good.
I just like to read those books. I like to write and create content even if nobody's seeing it. I love making videos, you know, even though it's not always posted. I feel like that when you're paddling out, you're like, oh, there's this idea, or oh, I heard something good today, and I want to share it, but I just don't have the time capacity to actually make it into anything. But I'm like, I don't want to forget it too. So I feel like there's books, videos, or shows or something in me that I have to get out, because otherwise it's very frustrating because I don't make room for new things.
Yeah.
And so it need time to just like take everything out and put it somewhere, and hopefully I can do something with it later. But it's kind of like that's like my relief, because I feel like there's just so much that I soak in that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to like put this somewhere or tell somebody or something, Yeah.
Oh,
That, I mean, dancing, just walking, going outside, just playing with the kids. Real
so
simple stuff.
what would you say, like, you know how people talk about having a balanced life?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is your thought on balanced life?
Oh, gosh, it's more like a dance. That's what I always tell people. It's not balance. It's a dance. It's like sometimes it's fast, and then sometimes it's slow, and sometimes you're over here, and sometimes you're just in one spot. Like, because I said it's kind of more like it can't be so we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this, because then life doesn't always work like that, right? It's good to have that thought. Like, I do have a structure to make sure that strategically I am spending time on family, or time with family, intentional time with family, work, myself, my husband. So I have that structure in place so that I always reassess every week, like, did I go too far in one direction? Am I losing sight of, am I putting too much into work where I'm forgetting the family? Or am I, so it helps me to reflect and see percentage wise with a pie chart, like how much blue am I spending, like, and then being able to make trade-offs, because there's so many good opportunities, but they're like any good opportunities is saying no to another opportunity, right? So it's so hard, because it's like, do you want to have lunch? And I'm like, I do. I want to have lunch with everybody.
Yeah.
But where is that going to come in? Because we're limited by time no matter what. We can't cut that on. Sleep for me is a non-negotiable. I sleep. Yeah. And so it's just, that is kind of how I do the initial choreography. And then the dance happens in the day, right? Yeah. Because I might be like, today we're doing this, right? Yeah. And then, machine breaks, right? And I'm like, okay, so that plan is kind of like, we're gonna have to do this now. And so I am coming home a little bit later tonight, but then tomorrow, let's do this. Or we're gonna miss that, but I'm gonna make it to this, or whatever. And so I think it's about that kind of flexibility in trying to not worry so much about the time spent everywhere, or that balance, but more, are you doing the things that, in those things and in that time frame, are those things that really matter, and are those the people that really matter, and it's within that, are you moving that through that? I think that's kind of how I see it going.
That's a good one. I'm talking about, it's like a dance. I never heard that one.
Yeah.
The reason I asked that, I like to ask a lot of people that, because there's some people that believe that everything has to be in a balance, otherwise something's offset or something. And it seems to me like that's not you. It's going to change. Like, your balance, you might have more time here, less time here. Yeah. It's never going to be balanced. It's just all depending on what's going on in life. Right? Yeah. And I think so many people get caught up in that. And those same people, kind of the majority of them are the same, like, life's not fair.
Oh, yeah.
And like, for me, it's like, yeah, life's not fair. That's just how it is, right? Yeah. And if you've gone rock bottom, like you said, I think anyone who's been there or struggled or took a chance, they know life's not fair, because the other guy that put $30,000 in something else just made $3 million, and I'm still freaking breaking even, right? Or I'm just making it. And I think, for me, like, as an athlete, and I know I put more hours training than most guys. I'm like, how did that freaking guy get better than me that fast? Now that I'm getting older, I'm okay with it, because I foil for an hour and a half, 7 days a week, pretty much. And that's how that is a non-negotiable for me. Nice. Because that's my major workout. Yeah. And then I teach a kid, a young person, how to foil, and within a month, they're bypassing me. And I'm going, how the frick can this happen? Like, before I used to be like, oh. Yeah. And then I was like, one of my friends goes, Egan, you ever ask him how many hours they spend per day foiling? I don't know. He goes, okay, so say you just did 1 hour for 7 days. That's 7 hours. The kid does 6 hours in one day, and he goes 5 days a week. So he's like, he's got 30 hours to your 7 in 1 week.
Right.
He's going to bypass you really fast.
Yeah.
And then once I started figuring that, I'm like going, it's true though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what life is. The more time you spend at whatever,
Yeah.
you know, that's what you're going to get better at.
Yeah.
Right. And
You got to pick.
yeah. And yes, like you said, right. Like when you give up something, you got to gain. You cannot gain and not give up something.
Right. Right.
Right. And so I feel like balanced life, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you give up here to get here, but
Yeah.
it's not always going to be that way.
Right.
Right. And like you talked about seasons in your life.
Yeah.
There's seasons. Like there's sometimes Marcia and I, that's all we do is business.
Yeah.
And then the family might suffer for a little bit.
Mm.
Our time together might suffer for a little bit.
Yeah.
But that changes.
Right.
You know? And
Yeah.
so I think it's super interesting. I mean, most business owners, especially when you have like ours, like our business is a small business, it's like that, and we have to roll with it. And like I was working for a pharmaceutical company. That's why for you working DOE is, I would think it'd be tough because even the pharmaceutical companies, when I was working there, it was super hard for me because you got to do it like this.
Yeah.
And I came back home to Hawaii and I was like, I'm doing it like this. And I'm like going, I mean, these are big corporate companies, right? So I was working for Merck and I would bump up the sales, not the way they taught me in school,
Yeah.
but the way I thought, this is how I'm going to bump it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the doctor, hey, dude, you got to help me out, man. You got to write a script, 1 script a week for me on this product, my product, right? And, you know, back then we could bring them Starbucks, Jamba Juice. We take them to lunch. We can give them scratch pads, pens. And I was lucky because they wanted to know about racquetball or they wanted to know about jiu-jitsu or fighting. And so I would get in easier than the rest of the reps.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't waste their time because most of the reps are like, can you just give me 5 minutes of your time? And then 20 minutes later, you're walking out. Right?
Yeah.
They're just trying to get in the door. Whereas I'm going, just tell the doc I just need 1 minute. And I go, okay, doc, this is my drug. All I need you to do is write a couple of scripts. You know all about it already because I've told you about it.
Yeah.
Just sign my paper.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
Yeah.
And they went, wait, Ian, but what about, hey, you ever thought of fighting this guy again? Or you ever play racquetball again?
Yeah.
And then it's them that chose
Right.
to keep me there, not me.
Right.
So if we're going to back up all the patients, it was him. Right. But I try not to because the gatekeeper, who's a secretary, gets the heat from all the clients, right? Or all the patients. So I would have to keep that lady happy too.
Right.
Otherwise, the next time they see Egan, they're like, dude, you're going to wait in line like the rest of the reps.
Right.
Right. So I couldn't survive in that because.
That's not because you can't do it that way. Your way.
Yeah. And they're always like,
then,
Egan, but you got to follow like that. I'm like, I can't do it. Then I'm going to quit. And they, well, I'll give you 1 more year to try and change. I'm like, I'm not going to change. So after 5 years, I was like, I'm done. I quit.
It's pretty good though that you just know who you are that on, because I don't think a lot of people take much longer to figure out, actually I tried, but I can't fit that mode.
Yeah. And I didn't even try.
Yeah. So you skipped that.
I just was like, I needed health insurance. I had a free car. They paid for gas. I'll just hang out. I'll do better than all the rest of the reps and then just hang out,
Yeah.
But to me, it's like to own a business is like my whole thing. I couldn't being a professional athlete from when I was 16. I never really had a job where I had to go in every day and follow rules.
Right.
So like for me, I don't know if that's my brain that took me that way or I learned that as an athlete. Whereas for you, you just knew that's how your brain works. Like you're innovative. You're like, I innovate workouts. I innovate training. I analyze that kind of stuff. But like yours is a whole different level than mine. It's like, I feel like more like a intellectual, like trying to figure out like, I'm going to Vietnamese coffee this month. Like I don't understand like how that comes like, but it's super interesting to me.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have that gift, and would you consider that gift like God gave you that gift, or that's something that
the innovation part? I guess so, because like I would always just be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm just, so it's like other people always saying, if you hear it over and over, oh, Erin, you're good at this, or I'm not good at that. I don't know, like, I was like, I don't really know what I'm good at, so, but hearing that repeatedly, like, or like, oh, you're good at creating content, or you're good with coming up with ideas or theming things together or connecting with people, then that's why I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm good at that. But I'm like, oh, but the reality of business is I can't only do that. So until I have somebody who can do the other half,
Yep.
I gotta do both. That's why I'm like antsy.
Yeah.
I'm always antsy because then when it's like, hey, we just want to, I'm like, I don't care. You guys can pick. Like, if it doesn't disturb the mission
Yeah.
or doesn't go against our values, go for it. Because it's that. But it's a journey because I don't know. It's gonna change, right? Like right now, it's okay because a lot of people told me, Erin, this is the best time with kids.
Yeah.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
And so many people told me that I was like, all right, I will do this now then.
Yeah.
And then so many people say, oh, at one point they're not gonna need you. Yeah, you can. Then you can do more, right?
Yeah.
But then I hear the other side too, like, oh, I gotta take care of my parents. I'm so busy, and so I'm like, oh, there's just right. So I was like, okay, I don't know what's gonna, and then it might not even happen that way. You might not have your kids for long, or you might not have your parents for long. So it's just like, well, they're right now.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta kind of live in the moment.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is, what, like, I usually like to think like, okay, well, what more is there for Erin and Chocolatier, or what more? And the way I kind of think about it is do you have like, say, like a calling, or I shouldn't use the word calling. There's that scary movie
I
we've
don't know
been
about
watching,
it.
and they get these callings.
Oh, I don't know about it, so it doesn't scare me.
It was called what was it called?
The Calling. No.
No, it was called Manifest.
Oh, okay.
It's a crazy show, but
yeah.
anyway, I'd say I'm so ADD, like things like pop in my head.
I follow though.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I follow.
It's the same.
I can do that. I cannot do I like this.
Yeah, oh good.
Yeah,
I wonder this is going.
I think that's why entrepreneurs are friends.
Yeah, maybe.
But we cannot work together alone. We need other people. But we're good to hang out.
We get our story and get stuff like this done. Yeah, so is there like, you feel like, is there more for you? Like, is there
Yeah, absolutely.
like
yeah.
You have any idea, or like?
Absolutely. No, I really do feel like there's a lot of things intertwined, like the teaching aspect, the business side. I love business. I love teaching. I love dancing. I love sharing things with people. I love the camera. I love just being able to bring hope or messages to masses is what I really love, because I feel like I'm making greater impact sometimes in the one. So I feel like I'm in a season of discipline where I have to be really good at getting this one company to be really solid, to do one thing at a time, find and it's not going to be perfect, but I feel like if then that can be something that I can share so that other one small businesses or one small whatever person can succeed, then I feel like that's more the future of what kind of work I'll be doing. Is like everything that I'm learning on the hardships or whatever is going to be things that I can then share with people so that they can do their one. And some people are very happy and content with their one. And for me, it's not about us growing big. It's never been about that. I don't say no. Like if, I'm not like I never want to grow it. But my mission, what's really going to bring to me, my definition of success is not the size of it, the amount of it, but it's really about like the enjoyment of the whole journey with so many aspects of life that I love, right? Like family, work, but then like doing random stuff and meeting random people, or like, spending time in the community, sharing this, or like helping mentor somebody or getting mentored. Like all of it is exciting to me. So I don't want to be limited to just that. So whatever form that kind of comes in right now, like the most obvious to me is like books, speaking, TV, podcasts, that kind of stuff, right? But whatever form that might be, how that might be is really what I'm looking for. It's like, how can I take all of this and then now teach it to other people and empower them? So I just, won't be bored, because there's just, people are so different that it'll just never be the same cookie cutter. But at least it gives people a faster runway, right? Not having to do that same mistakes.
Yeah.
Or find some kind of hope in that moment when they hit their bottom too, that like, actually you can get up now because there's nowhere else to go, so it's all good. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what it would be like, but I don't know when, how. You know, it's not like, I mean, I prayed that, God, when, how does this look like, right? But I don't get any answers, you know, like, so it's just like, well, today I'll just do this, you know, and yes, I will plan for the year, but then, oh shoot, that plan just went out the door. Okay, let's try that again. But I'm gonna try and enjoy along the way. You don't stop, look at the view, whatever, right? Eat the chocolate.
He said that you pray to God like how, when. I think the only time I've ever prayed to God is like, God, if you let me live in this situation, I promise I won't swear anymore.
Yeah, watch out for those. I know.
Yeah, God, if you just if you give me enough energy to swim back to shore, get my board, I promise I'll do. And I start thinking, okay, what can I make the deal with?